those who have disregarded you, those who have opposed you, and those who have underestimated you have no notion of what awaits them. Pay close attention to what I'm about to convey. When we are wronged, we must not let it corrupt our essence. Allowing resentment to fester into bitterness is unhealthy, nor should we harbor desires for revenge. It's crucial to place such grievances in God's hands, entrusting these challenges to Him. In Proverbs 24 verse 29, it states, "Do not say, 'I'll do to them as they have done to me. I'll pay them back for what they did.'" This verse emphasizes the importance of leaving vengeance to God, trusting that He will deal justly with those who have wronged us. This encourages us to release any bitterness or thoughts of retribution, maintaining our inner peace and focusing on actions that are pleasing to God. In modern interpretations of the Scriptures, we often see a God of love, while older accounts also depict a God who is just, both merciful and stern. Justice is foundational. No one can attack the anointed and go unpunished. Those who challenged a chosen one of God have failed. If you were not chosen, you would not be hearing this now. Those who rose against you will answer to God. Consider the story of the prophet Daniel, who was cast into the lion's den due to the envy of other leaders. Instead of despairing, Daniel entrusted his situation to God, proclaiming that God would send His angel to shut the lions' mouths. And indeed, God acted, and Daniel emerged unharmed. None of his accusers escaped without facing the consequences. This illustrates that no one goes without receiving their due response, as this is a divine law. Similarly, the Scriptures recount the story of Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his own brothers. Instead of seeking revenge when he had the chance, Joseph chose peace, recognizing that his trials were a test of faith. He forgave his brothers, affirming that God had a purpose for all that had transpired. What I mean is this: maintain peace and trust that God will handle all things. God will fight your battles against those who have mocked you, belittled you, and acted unjustly. God's justice is certain and will manifest, whether you expect it or not. Listen carefully. God has prepared a time of triumph for you, even if it seems everything is at a standstill and you are at a disadvantage. In the spiritual realm, the pieces are already moving. A biblical example that illustrates this truth is the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis, starting with chapter 37. Joseph was the most beloved son of his father, Jacob, which generated envy and resentment among his brothers. They plotted against him, selling him as a slave to a caravan heading to Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph faced false accusations and was unjustly imprisoned. Despite his seemingly hopeless situation, Joseph never stopped trusting in God. While in prison, he interpreted dreams that foretold the future, leading him to Pharaoh's presence, where he interpreted a dream that saved Egypt from a great famine. Pharaoh, seeing God's wisdom in Joseph, elevated him to the position of governor of Egypt, granting him great power. When his brothers who had sold him came to Egypt seeking food, Joseph had the opportunity for revenge. However, he chose to forgive and provide for their needs, demonstrating a profound understanding of divine sovereignty and justice. Joseph said to his brothers, "Do not be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This story underscores that even in the most adverse and humiliating conditions, God will fight the battles of His chosen ones. Joseph's rise from captivity to leadership is a powerful symbol of how faith and trust in God overcome human adversities and oppression. It shows that God's justice is inevitable and that He has a designated time for the victory of those who trust in Him, no matter how stagnant or unfavorable the circumstances may seem. Therefore, embrace this revelation that is resonating in your heart today. This challenge, this affront in your life, will not defeat you. Stay vigilant, for God has instructed me to alter my message because He wanted to use my voice to deliver this specific message to you.